And we're on our way back. We're getting started back up. Stream finished on YouTube. Okay, are we live on YouTube? We're also live on YouTube again. Good. It says excellent connection. I am now sending out 8.2 megabits per second to Twitch, which, the connection is already starting to buffer on YouTube. It's still not enough. It's funny how Twitch is like prioritized here, or maybe YouTube is just shittier in general in like receiving. It's still saying excellent condition for my stream, so although what I'm seeing back is like it's slower. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so now I'm sending out 8.2 because I decided to leave it with the 360p because YouTube should just fucking work, right? It should. I have this much bandwidth, you know, to be able to do this. 8 plus another 6 that just goes to YouTube. That's 6 megabits per second less than what I'm usually using. I can get some more bandwidth back by shutting down my torrent hive. I mean, how much even is that? It's half a meg. It shouldn't. I don't know. It's additional traffic. I think for the sake of testing, I'm going to shut down my torrent hive. Or actually, can I just, without having to shut it down, I can just like hit a button that shuts us down, can't I? Can I do that? Global speed limits? I don't want to do that. I want to click to switch to regular speed limits. No. What's this? Yeah, no. Lock qubit torrent? No, that's not what I want to do either. YouTube seems at least 30 seconds behind. Yeah, it's buffering a lot. I mean, I've already got a speed limit on my... You're coming back up online. You're coming back up online. We're coming back alive. I see that Twitch is back up. I'm looking for whether or not is this the test on YouTube? Like, is it the same stream? Did I break down and then pick back up? Because it hasn't, like, died yet. The stream hasn't died for me yet. On that end of things. Test.
Here we go again!
About 5 seconds, and it comes through on this side. And there's me. Okay. The YouTube end of things is kind of working at this point. We are now sending just a consistent 6 megabits per second up. On both sides. What I did was finally I disabled Twitch Enhanced Broadcasting is one of the things. By the way, thank you for sending across a thing. Who did that? It doesn't show in this chat. In this multi-chat thing. Highlight mod mentions font size, but I do have recent activity here. Play Mario just now, but it takes up so much space, can't actually see who did it.
Great shot, kid! That was 1 in a million!
Play 1 in a million, but I can't see who did it. Because the thing that says play 1 in a million, that's not good. I need to know who does these things. Okay, if I right click and zoom out, Zoom out again. Jermacian played 1 in a million. I still can't see with this zoom. It was Jermacian who played both of them. That's not good. This is Stream Elements. Software
I'll be with you, always.
I'm playing with right now, and it's just putting Play the Force, like it's putting the name of the event, and then after that comes who did it. But like I've got it in a tiny window on a second monitor as part of my event, my whole activity feed. So it doesn't fit. And it's just a bad use of... It's a bad UI. That sucks. Chat, their multi-chat thing doesn't show it to me in chat to tell me who did what, which sucks as well. Short and long messages? No, that doesn't help. I'm looking at their options here. Control labels? Huh? Oh, control labels. That's for, I can pause alerts, I can mute alerts, I can skip alerts. Show red markers? Whether I've acknowledged it or not. That's actually kind of helpful. But how do I switch it to whether I've read it or not? I think YouTube have enough buffered that restarting the stream didn't interrupt it. Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Unfortunately, so that's just going to be a shitty end of this whole thing, as far as I can tell. Is that when you guys play an event like that, I'm not going to be able to tell who did it. That is very easily readable here, Jermacian, and thank you for the 500 bits. Cheer 500 test, this is a test. That didn't do anything, though. Why didn't that do anything? Thank you for testing that. What I set up is, again, a Stream Elements thing that it's supposed to, you know, intercept events like this. Ice Cream's not creaming. Well, Ice Cream doesn't handle the subscriptions. Twitch still handled subscriptions and stuff. So the Ice Cream stuff should work. And has been, where you're playing audio and stuff like that. And if you used the bot to do a TTS, that came through. Kenneth did that earlier. The problem is I disabled Twitch's subscription handling because Stream Elements claimed that it could do the fucking job and that that's the whole point of Stream Elements. However, what we're finding out live... Oh, wait! That Stream element is monitoring for Ronin Pawn, not Pawn... Wait. No, it should be monitoring... How does that work? How does that work? Audio is breaking up for you. Are you watching on Twitch or YouTube? You're typing on Twitch. I'm looking at the audio meters. It looks okay on my end. And, okay, good for Jermacian? Okay. Yeah. I should be able to, like, replay that event, the cheer. I shouldn't fucking have to. And if it didn't work the first time, it's not going to work the next time. Yeah, I've already done this. Fuck off, Stream Elements. Like, they want a lot for the fact that their shit doesn't work out of the box. They want a lot of information from you. They want a lot of your time. I'm giving you a chance, and you're really blowing it here. Good news just means that my connection sucks. You're on Twitch, okay. Activity feed. Revenue history. It doesn't know any of my revenue history for Twitch either. It's like this Stream Elements is really unimpressive. But I thought it could handle, you know, the basics here, but it like has no idea about my income from Twitch. It has no idea about our viewers and stuff like that. And yet it does. Like, I can scroll down and see all of the events that have happened that it is tracking in an activity feed. Then you scroll up to, like, it's got a graph here where it's supposed to show you all the things that have happened. And, no, it shows nothing. It can't graph them for some reason. It's got the data. It's proving that it's got the data, but it doesn't know how to graph it. Yeah, there's no graph data there. And the thing is, the activity feed does see the bits. It does see the cheer. If I click replay activity, nothing happens. I'm going to go over to my streaming tools and to my elements, because I'm not using an overlay, I'm using an element, and it says I don't have any elements. What? You didn't create any alerts yet. Beg to fucking differ. Oh. You have to create the element for each account? Maybe? So did I make it for YouTube, but not for Twitch? If I switch over to the YouTube account, now I've got that element. Oh my fucking god. So what, I would have to have duplicate elements for each of my accounts? That wouldn't work. All the information has to go to the same element, to the same overlay. It all has to, like, feed into the same place. Otherwise, what? I got, like, if somebody cheers on Twitch at the same time as somebody cheers on YouTube, they end up on top of each other? What the fuck, Stream Elements? What is your premise here? Why do I have an element that's listed under my Twitch side of my, or under my YouTube side of my account, but not under my Twitch? What the hell? M. Ellis? What are you doing? Showing up from the YouTube side of things, huh? We're testing for multi-streaming from YouTube and from Twitch. We have a new YouTube viewer. Yeah, hey. I'm doing testing just to make sure that this will work, because this is a whole new, like, setup, whole new visuals. Apparently my lips don't match my talking anymore. I'm trying to be ready for tomorrow, but it might not be able to do it tomorrow with as many things as are fucked up. Much shit that ain't working after all the work that I did this morning. Like, I'm just, what we're doing here is kind of silly. Let's, if I do this, does this still work? It doesn't come up on this screen. It doesn't come up on this screen. Why? Because we don't use top on this screen. We use alerts on this screen. Okay. Lots of little oversights here. So why wouldn't I switch to top? Is there any reason not to switch to top instead of alerts? Because top has that other stuff in it. Right. No, you're right. Yeah, you wouldn't want that here. Let's have the ungoogled Chromium added manually to the main scene here. But it should be under alerts. So then we can open things up and, you know, do browser stuff together. I think my Twitch experience degraded and YouTube improved directly as a result of you turning off the Twitch optimization setting. Oh, yeah? I was setting out a 1080p, a 720, and a 360. If you were watching the 720, that would maybe, you know, have something. Will you add Super Chat, says M. Alice? Well, it's going to be on the main channel, youtube.com/RonanPawn. And yes, that's what I'm planning to at least have one live stream on the main channel to let people know that I'm still alive. As I feel like, you know, of the 24,000 subscribed to me on YouTube, about 12 probably are aware that I'm still live streaming and stuff over on Twitch. So at least one, and yes, subscriptions and super chats would be are available there, are going to be available there if we can ever get it working. Maybe we don't have the browser here. Maybe we just don't have the browser here. Because we can just go over here, right? And then I'm still here, and this is on there, and this is fine. This is a good place to do it. He is a money grubber. He'll enable anything that increases revenue without enshittification. I mean, for years I wouldn't turn that stuff on and didn't engage, because I was like, come to Twitch where things are better. Now I'm finally willing to accept some enshittification to... I want to make it, you know, for people who are used to, you know, YouTube live streaming. Okay. You know, we'll see if it works out. I mean, YouTube's rate of, like, their split for live streams is 70%. That's before costs and all kinds of things, and apparently it cuts pretty hard from that. But Twitch claims 50%, and then there are costs that make it more like 43% or something. YouTube's starting at 70. So I have made the cost for a subscription over there reflect that in being $3.99 instead of the $5 it costs on Twitch, because I'll be making more than I would make on Twitch. You know, you spend $4, I'd get, you know, $2.70, $2.80 instead of $2.30 or something for the $5 that you'd usually spend. That's the idea there. Let's see, though. So, Stream Elements, multi-streaming, catch, like, all alerts. I don't know how to say this. We need, like, all alerts, alerts from both platforms. Like, I need... Twitch alerts. No. For stream alerts from Twitch and YouTube. Yes, I need them both at once. And I would have thought that would have just fucking worked out of the box, but apparently I'm a crazy man. This is just listing, like, what kind of alerts there are. I need you to explain to me why it is that I installed one and put it into my OBS and gave it a link, and it's not fucking coming across. That's what I need to know from you. Asshole. Alright, let's see. Stream alerts. How to set up alerts for Twitch and YouTube. See, it just says Twitch alerts. For streaming on Twitch, I use Stream Elements OBS. I have a YouTube account that is enabled to stream. This might be someone asked. My goal is to set up a stream so I can eventually stream on different days. Best way to, in a perfect world, I'd like to use the same software and easily switch between the two. That's not answering my question. So I'm just going to take a crack in the dark here. Come on back over while I work on the other page. Okay, it's just swing in the blind. Just guessing, because the Stream Elements is really taking care of its streamers. Like, all I'm trying to do is what you advertised I'd be able to do, and tain't working. So I'm going to like copy the URL for my alert that should have gone off when Dramatian did that thing. I'm going to switch over to my Twitch account and see if I can't somehow like bind the same alert to that account. New element. Not start from scratch. Like I've already got one is the thing. Yeah. Quit fucking asking me about the cookies. Every goddamn page I load up, it's like cookies, cookies, cookies. I've already told you what you can do about the cookies. Stop fucking asking. So this, what I'm looking at right now, would just, it would add a new one. And not the one that I've already got. I don't know. Stream elements. Isn't this what you're supposed to be the whole fucking point? Do elements not work? Do I have to do an overlay? Is that the thing? Does it absolutely just have to be an overlay if I'm doing two sources? If so, why the fuck don't you say that? YouTube is still 10 seconds behind, giving a more consistent, muddy stream. Twitch is giving me crisp, low artifact video, but with occasional audio jitters.
Really?
What's your experience, Dramatian? Are you able to watch on both, or switch back and forth between them and see how it's working for you? So you've got an activity feed, but it doesn't connect to both. This is just fucking ridiculous. Can I use stream element with multi-streaming? What the fuck, man? You're on a phone using cellular data in the US, so grain of salt. Yeah, that's why I'm asking Dramatian, because you were having a little trouble earlier that Dramatian wasn't seeing, so, or, you know, audio problems that Dramatian wasn't getting. And if you're still here, Emma Ellis, how's your experience on YouTube? Any problems? So... no problems on your end? Okay. That's good to hear. Looks like, you know, at least knowing that I've got like a stable, the stuff's coming out anyway. Are you, Dramatian, are you also like, do you have the audio delay when I snap? You see it before you hear it? Good to go, says MLS. Okay. So Kenneth, it's just your, you know, you need to get out from underneath that solar panel, that you know, you're in a valley, and so if I go over to my alerts page, which is nothing, you can't see that it's anything really. Stream elements alerts, and I've got this thing, and it's a link that I brought in. Small audio delay. Okay, so that is there. That kind of sucks because I have all of my audio like tuned exactly and precisely to the moment. And it really sucks that I am going to have to like futz with that. That's subtle work. It takes time. It eats time to figure out the exact millisecond delay that you need to add, and I've got different things that have different amounts of delay on them. small audio delay. So you see first, and then you hear. We actually might be able to, oh, that might, maybe I don't have to change anything. Like, here, let's go over here. Okay. So I'm going to click this button here, and it's going to clear that. And in fact, yeah, I'm going to click it right next to the microphone so that you can hear when I click and you can see when it goes away. Pay attention. In 3, 2... Does that sync up mostly? Now watch this. Does that sync up mostly? Does that sync up mostly? Does the mouse sync up to my movements? To my voice speaking anyway. Does the mouse sync up to my movements? And for a long time, I've been known for speaking with my mouse on the live stream. Whenever I don't have a live stream webcam, I just do this instead. Son of a bitch! I just do that. Does the mouse look like it's following the way that I speak? Because if those are still in sync, then I might just be able to push out the video delay. Seemed like a half a second between the click, the chick and the clear, said Kenneth. It is like milliseconds to Germasian. Well, it's something I'll probably just have to look at on the VOD locally to see what it really is, and then I can futz with it. But maybe I'll get lucky and I won't have to actually change the core delay. There's a different delay between the video, because the webcam, quote unquote, it's a real camera, has a delay to it that's different, and so I have to sort of separate out the delays in order to get them to, you know, cooperate. I really don't like what this is, what probably the solution is for Stream Elements here. You know, I picked this here. In fact, let me show you what should have happened. I'm going to go over to Ronan Pawn, YouTube, Stream Elements. What should have happened when you donated 500 bits. So I'll go to, I think, overlays was my experience. So that's why, oh, it's all kind of coming together here for me. I think that's why when I use Stream Elements Event Emulator in the application, it doesn't do anything because it's emulating YouTube or Twitch events. Yeah, nothing came across there when I used that, but when I go over to the overlay editor, which isn't even in the element, it's a mess. This website is a mess. Stream Elements has not pulled this together. Absolutely not. Emulate. What should have happened. That's what I set up to work. But apparently, it only works for YouTube. Is my guess. Which is a big fucking problem. Let's so that we can be doing something together here. Stream Elements, only alerts for one platform. Setting up Twitch alerts. Let's click on this. Unlock the full potential. Create an overlay from scratch. Use an existing theme. Use the new Elements feature. Create a very basic alert box. You can customize. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. The problem is I can only, like, even in this, it's looking like I would only be able to set up an overlay for one or the other. Switch to device speaker instead of Bluetooth. Audio sync is better, but I'm not sure that it is perfect. Oh, good. I'm glad it's not half a second behind. Stream elements, multi-stream alerts. I mean, if I come to here, I'm pretty sure this is what I followed along with last night. Alerts. Test alerts before going live with it. Yeah, I did, but now here we are. So it says nothing about a problem that should exist between, like, catching alerts from both platforms at once using their system, but it doesn't work. And when I'm on Stream Elements site, what I'm seeing is I have 3 different profiles, and one is for YouTube, and one is for Twitch, and one is for my other YouTube account, RP Live, and for Ronin Pawn. And so when I switch between them, I have an element that works for the Ronin Pawn that I've installed for it. When I switch to Pawn Live, the element, there's no element there. When I switch to Twitch, there's no element there. So it seems as though the element that I installed last night is only installed to the YouTube account and only works with the YouTube account. And so my fucking question is, Stream Elements, oh, we've got the fucking, multi-streaming solution, install it into OBS and we solve all your problems. Really? Because how do I get events from all platforms to come into without having multiple events that could end up overlapping with each other? If I set up 3 different elements, I'm going to have 3 different browser elements in my thing, and they could bling, bling, bling. They could be going on top of each other. So that doesn't, you've got to have them combined. So where have you combined them? And they haven't even acknowledged that this is a problem. Like, this is something that people need to know how to make work in anything that we've read and anything that I've seen yet. Alerts. They don't even mention alerts on this page. Multi-stream alerts. What's a super theme? Oh, sorry. I'm now in a different browser. Kind of thought we were together. Here we are. What is a super theme? I think it's just what, their funny little name for a bunch of shit. Duplicate the alert box? What? Creating a unified alert box. Use a single alert box across all scenes. I mean, that's not a problem. I've done that. Yeah, I've already done that. My problem is the alert box doesn't receive from all sources. And I would love someone to say, you know what? I'm going to ChatGPT. Can you believe that there's anything that isn't, like, documented on the internet in 2025? And yet there is. I'm live on Twitch and YouTube simultaneously using Stream Elements OBS plugin. My new problem is that I don't have cross-site alerts. Things that happen on YouTube would seem to work, but things that happen on Twitch aren't coming through. $5 cheer fell completely silent, and I'm looking at Stream Elements setup or website, we'll say website, and it looks like they separate elements, alert boxes, and what's their name for it again? What's the other thing that they call it? They call it their overlays. Yeah. Overlays by account. So how am I supposed to get a unified alert box that is aware of all events from all platforms? The documentation rate only goes down with the years. It's just kind of very common confusion. The key is how SE handles accounts and alert boxes. SE works account by account. So your YouTube account and Twitch account are viewed separately. Each alert box is tied to one account, so if you make a new overlay in Twitch, it only sees Twitch events, same for YouTube. There is no native cross-platform alert box. So they fucking, what a bunch of assholes. What a shitty platform that knows this is a problem. They developed software that installs into OBS that does stream everywhere. And so they know that this is an issue. They know that this is a problem, that you're going to want alerts for both sites. They developed a fucking OBS plugin that helps you stream at multiple places at once. And not only do they not have a solution for it, which is one thing, to not have a solution out of the box for it. It's a tricky thing to do. I'm doing it with my own software in Python. And it takes a dedication of resources and stuff that if you're doing it for free, no. I understand that. But you don't document it just because you don't want to admit that you don't have a fucking solution for it. You don't want to admit that it's incredibly inconvenient. So you just waste my fucking time. I'm sitting on a live stream live for 15, 20 minutes, running around trying to find a goddamn answer for it. And there ain't no answer. And you haven't documented, Stream Elements hasn't documented it. They haven't, we couldn't find it on Reddit. It didn't come up in the search engine anyway. I have to go to ChatGPT in order to find this shit out. This is bullshit. Stream Elements has just to me, it's a platform that it's giving away a lot for free, and the idea is, we'll impress you with the free shit, and then you'll pay for the extra. Well, guess what? You will be getting none of my money, Stream Elements. Jesus fucking Christ. So you have to use separate alert boxes, or use a third-party service that supports multi-platinum or platform. Muxy, Streamlabs Cloud Alerts. Streamlabs has a solution, but Stream Elements hasn't, huh? So you're just not going to acknowledge it, you fucking assholes. So we just have to create one box for every platform, and then if events come in on top of each other, they just come in on top of each other and compete, and I guess whoever's event came in a couple of seconds later covers over the first one. That's, it's okay until you don't actually fucking document it, and then it's a crime against humanity. I hate you. I hate all of you. You fucking people. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with I've been fighting software all day. Reaper doesn't work the way that you would expect it to. Auto hotkey is made by fucking monkeys locked in a room, hitting keyboards, slamming their faces on them all day. Auto hotkey is like, it's supposed to make things more convenient, but they decided to not follow any of the conventions of any coding language before them. So, so you have to look up everything. You have to learn AutoHotkey's language in order to create it. It's not convenient, and it competes with and conflicts with everything you try and use it with that would actually make your life easier, that would justify its existence. AutoHotkey fucking sucks, and it's the second version of it, and they haven't improved it. It works less, if anything. And then Stream Elements. I'm just, between YouTube has live streaming, but it doesn't work particularly good. The interface for the streamer isn't particularly good. It's completely separate from OBS, so you'd have to keep you gotta have 6 monitors going if you want to stream on YouTube, whereas Twitch, you can do it with 2. What the fuck is wrong with you people, is my question. I come back to it, because this shit is is there something wrong with me? How do you not see that this is a problem? How do you not write down somewhere on your fucking website, Stream Elements, sorry, we don't have this solved yet. Here's our solution. Here's what you have to do for now. We're working on something. What the fuck is wrong with you people? It's not fucking rocket science. We're going to do rocket science on the live stream tomorrow if I can get these systems working. That'll be This isn't. Fortnite, man, it's just saying Fortnite. I am so utterly disappointed in humanity in general. I understand that things take work, I understand, but how do you get to the point you're at now without having gone through points A, B, C, D, E, F, and G? How do you end up shipping the software in this state? How do you end up with your website in this state? How do you do that? How do you do that? Do you just have no standards? Are you stupid? Do you just not understand that before you put the shoe on your foot, and then before you start walking, you tie the lace? Then it stays on the foot. Then you don't fall over. Oh shit, did I just blow your minds, you fucking monkeys? I don't get it. I don't get it. I am, but over and again, I am still waiting to get to that point that George Carlin said he was able to get to, where he is rooting against humanity. He claimed that he found some peace when he stopped rooting for humanity and believing that there was hope. And when he just committed to the idea that these are unevolved beings that don't want to evolve, they missed their opportunity, it's too far gone, there's no pulling it back, fuck it, I'm just gonna roast s'mores and watch the shit burn. And he claimed to have found some peace there. I'm not there yet, because I'm still just so, oh my God, George got to the point where he could just see it and laugh at it and be like, look at how fucking stupid these fucking monkeys are. I'm still out here angry at it because I feel surely this can be fixed. Surely it can be taught how to not be a monkey. And my belief in humanity is just causing me pain. My belief that we can get you guys up to 3-digit IQ if we work at it is the thing that causes me pain. ABCD, Fortnite, and G. I like this. This is, I presume this is, your account is just dedicated to, dedicated to just throwing Fortnite into everything. They're trying to sell you something. They won't tell you what they can't do. Yeah, this is crazy. Don't believe in humanity, believe in Fortnite. I love the account. Welcome. Setting up a super theme and alert box. I think believing in Fortnite would be a problem. I need to believe in the me that believes in the me that believes in you. Wait. Setting up a super theme. Yeah, how about setting up a go fuck yourself theme? And I go with your fucking... Who makes this website? Who makes this platform? Who gets to this point? Who makes... Alright. What we're gonna do is, I'm gonna create new element. You guys aren't going to be able to see it. This is going to get real. This is, I mean, it wasn't supposed to be an entertainment stream. I've turned it into an entertainment stream by just, yelling at you for existing. What the fuck is wrong with you? Stop breathing already. So, I just need to find the theme that I used before, steal the same thing from it, the same element. Its flow is what it is. And I need to do it for every account. So which account am I logged into right now? Boy, it doesn't even tell me on this page. Which account am I logged into right now? I am in as Twitch, I think. So, I need to find the Flow Alert box by Kudos TV and use element. And now that I've clicked use element, I actually need to go and edit it. What was that? Elements. Okay, we now have one here. Last edited a couple of seconds ago. Need to edit it, and I need to change the audio to the sound that I like. Which isn't this sound. It's this. I think that's nicer. So, there we go. And then we save. And then I go over to alerts. So stream elements, I gotta rename this. Stream elements, YouTube. And actually, this is Stream Elements YT Ronin Pawn, because there's going to be one for... I mean, I don't have... If I eventually monetized RP Live, or was able to monetize RP Live, I would also need one for that, too. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're fine. The black is intended here. In fact, I'm going to call it SEYT. No. This is Twitch. No, I'm going to say Stream Elements, Twitch. And then I'm going to copy the transform from the other one. And paste it. Okay, so now they both have the same position on screen. My IQ is at least a 4. Fortnite. This is Fortnite. This is what Fortnite characters see when they die. You're looking at it right now. Now, Dramacian. From earlier, you sent a cheer. And actually, let's come over here. Go back to the main scene. You sent a cheer, a $5 cheer. Thank you so much for that donation, Dramacian. Let's see it on the big board. It didn't play the correct audio. that I just changed. We all saw me change it. We all heard me change it. We all saw me change it. We all heard and saw me and see me hearing the changing that I heard and that I saw. And then I saw it, and then Fortnite. I'm just doing it now. And so, Twitch, let me just make sure that this is the right. Yeah, that is the right. Hang on, if I refresh the cache of the current page, and then we go back here, and actually I have to change the audio for every event. That's the thing. I remember this now. This is also very inconvenient, but I understand it. I understand that it has to be this way. Save that. Cheered. Hey! I'm covered and you're bukakeing me with Ronin Pawn. Why'd I have to come up with... Like, anyone else could have come up with the connection there. Why do I have to be the guy? It's my faith in humanity that is really hurting me. I'm just changing the sound over for every single event that Twitch has here. Because I prefer this audio thing. Raided. We're not going to do a raid. Can I remove raid? Edit the raided variation. Yeah. No, I want to delete raided. Because I do have raids coming from Twitch still. Now I understand. Last night I didn't understand while I was setting all this stuff up. Why there wasn't a raid option. Now I get it. It's because every account has a fucking thing. Slick glides? Is that what you call it? Okay. Dramasian, thank you so much for the $5 cheer that you just hit. Fuck. I think I need to reload the element, maybe? There was a cheer. The sound effect that it played should have been... I shouldn't have to reload the element. One more time. No, it's still... Alright, maybe I do have to reload the element. Which means I'll come over to the alerts. Yeah. Refresh cache. Fresh cache. And... Amazing, thank you for the button. There we go. Okay, if events happen on multiple platforms at once... What? What? Fortnite, man. Wait, what did you do? Yeah, I can't actually tell. This so much. It's not big enough. There's not enough. Let me just, if I replay the activity. I can't read that. It's too small on my screen. It's the whole point of an activity feed, and their activity feed, like, it doesn't show the thing. It shows who did the thing, but it doesn't give you the information that you need. It wastes space with a whole bunch of other fucking shit, and then pushes off the crucial information. I presume it was a follow, right? Was it a follow? And actually, if it was a follow... It was subscribing? You subscribed? It wasn't just a follow, it was a subscription? And I can't fucking tell? Can you change effects for follow, subscribe? Yeah, I could switch it all so that it's a different thing. And then the different, like, thing would give me, different sound maybe would give me an idea. But it's a lot of little futzy work that I don't want to do. I'm not interested in it. I click on that just takes me to there. This is so half-baked. Have they not used it? It's this again, my hatred for humanity this is a recurring idea. Have you not used the software that you wrote? Do you not You not try it before you ship it? It was a Prime. It was a Prime. The P is for Prime. Thank you for the subscription, yeah. Thank you, Fortniteman. Meanwhile, I can see, like, cheers and stuff happening. I can see cheer 100. Try it before you buy it. Thank you, Jermaine. See? I guess I could give different sounds to the things so that I have some idea. I could just make a thing about it every single time that it happens. I'll just be, "No, fuck can I fucking goddamn shitting balls," and that'll be fun too. I'll just demand that they change things so that they don't suck. How about that? No audio for you right now? What do you mean? I can see my mic popping. So you can hear me, surely. But you're saying for the alerts, you're not hearing the audio? This is, imagine I didn't do a test live stream. Imagine I just fired her up expecting anybody's anything to work. Stream Elements, Twitch, YouTube. Imagine that I just had faith in humanity. My faith is not actually in humanity, is it? Lock that down. And then let's go to advanced audio properties. Looks like I'm going to have to unhide everything. If I go to this, yeah, I'm hearing it all, so I don't know why y'all aren't hearing it. I guess I control audio. We'll add audio control. For OBS. OBS is shit, too. Oh my god, is OBS shit. Fighting this piece of shit. It's just a war on all fronts with the fundamental incompetency of humanity in general. Okay. I didn't hear nothing there. What was that? That was a cheer 10, ring ring. I didn't hear nothing. So let's go over to the advanced audio properties. And so now I've got controls for this. That's weird. That worked? You heard it, but I didn't. Okay, and I didn't hear that either. Alright, so that's going to be because I need to switch these over to monitor and output so that I can hear them and you can hear them. Stream Elements, Twitch, Stream Elements, YouTube, Roku, yep. Monitor and output. And then rate-only Twitch is going to need monitor and output. Okay. Okay. Now I think we should all be able to hear everything when it comes through. So, I'm gonna hide mic 3. I don't even know what mic auxiliary 3 is. I'm gonna hide all of these alert overlays, because I just shouldn't need them. And now, I will replay the event. And I heard that. And you heard that? Verizon, can you hear me now? Good. Verizon, can you hear me now? Good. Thank you. And I should do more test stream. I'm making so much money testing this stream. Thank you, Jermacian, for the many cheers helping test all this out. All right. I think we've got the alerts working. However, they will compete. They will overlap. And so maybe I should make an effort to spread them out so that they don't. So that they're not just sitting on top of each other in the overlay. Because I could push one to the left. And one to the right. I'm just judging kind of by eye where the center is. Okay, so now there's 320 on that side, and there's 320 on that side. Okay, by eye, I managed to figure out where the centers are. So now, you join me back here, were I to replay, Verizon, can you hear me now? It appears on the left side. Now, if there were a YouTube event, I should be able to actually, force that to happen. I just gotta click a million buttons in the stream elements over. Oh, wait. Can I do it from... No, I won't be able to. I just gotta click a million buttons over here. So, over to Ronin Pawn. And then into my overlays and edit. That gets me access to simulated, emulated events. And so if there were a subscriber on YouTube, it happens over there. So we got, one side or the other. So that at least, even if they happen at the same time, it'll be like, blah, 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 kind of a thing. But at least they'll both get some screen time. Yeah. And then, there you go. That's how that'll work. And that was 1,000-bit cheer, money, more money. 1,000 bits. Thank you, Jermacian. I don't even have to live stream tomorrow now. Fuck it, we're shutting down. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for helping me, too, for sticking around just to help figure out what the hell is going wrong with it. So we got... Alerts are working now, which I didn't even think was going to be a problem in the first place. But it was, and we've solved it. What else? We've solved the problem with YouTube and Twitch not, with YouTube not being able to stream to both of them at once, and it just means that I can't give Twitch multiple feeds, which kind of sucks. But now I can say, if you need a lower bitrate, just go over and watch on YouTube. I can do that, I guess. Like I used to do. This isn't the first time we've had a setup like this. Before, I was using Restream.io. I would send them one stream, and then they would send it to both places at once. And that was just... That put another middleman into the game, and I didn't like it, because, when Restream.io had problems, I had problems, And it was just another, is it my internet bandwidth connection? Is it their internet bandwidth connection? Is YouTube having a problem? Is Twitch having a problem? This is me broadcasting directly to both endpoints at the same time. Make sure you also duplicate all those settings from Pawn Live to Ronin Pawn. I did it. It's all for Ronin Pawn. In fact, if you were able to cheer or do anything on Pawn Live right now, nothing would happen. I have no setup for Pawn Live. Which, it's not a monetizable platform, so you know, for now, we live with that. But yeah, this is all set up for youtube.com/RonanPawn and for twitch.tv/RonanPawn, not for Pawn Live. Okay. You guys have given me some things that I should note down, which is that the audio delay. Check audio delays. Again, hopefully just adjust the webcam delay. That's my fingers crossed on that. So, do a test live stream broadcasting upon Live and Twitch at the same time. Chickadee wiggity check. There were two things that I was going to do on the live stream here. Now that I think we've sort of locked this up and locked it down. We could, I'll tell you what, let's run a little cluster truck just to prove that I can stream, you know, full, like, when the bandwidth gets tight and hot, that the YouTube will still work. So, Dramasian, anybody else, Kenneth, if you've got a decent connection again, but like, if you could have the YouTube thing open and we'll just see if this keeps working for us. And, you know, we can find out what Houston thinks of it.
What?
Okay. That's what I would assume Houston would think of it. You're switching over to YouTube. Okay. I'm getting Cluster Truck open. I've got the webcam in a place that's for the sake of Kerbal Space Program right now. And I don't really mean to like seriously speedrun the game, but we'll put a couple of, you know, we'll go at it a bit. That'll be the idea. I'm not going to open Live Split or anything like that. I'm just gonna run. And what do you think of my little webcam there? That takes a little bit of doing in OBS to have a like rounded corner webcam like that. You gotta use a mask, and OBS's mask system really sucks. It's yet again like a system that feels half designed. It's not meant to be intuitive. It doesn't really. There's a bunch of stuff that just doesn't work the way out of the box that you think it should. To get to the point where it works the way that you would think it would, you have to like enable extra options that aren't enabled by default and stuff like that. It's not cool. And there's a reason why you don't see people, you know, using the masking features that often. Rounded quarters are so pre-digital. I also used created a mask, transparency mask filter for the scrolling emotes at the top of the screen, in the main scene, where it's just my beautiful, lovely face. Above my head, they're slowly scrolling, but they do fade out at either end, and so I had to create that mask, and it didn't look right or work right the first time, and yeah, this actually goes. Oh, that was like a millimeter from making it. So how's it look on YouTube? Any you know, any lagging, any bugging out, any dropping frames, any bad things happening other than 2-1 being unwilling to let me pass? Other than that? Uh-oh. and I didn't get anything off of it. Usually when you make contact with something and you hit the jump button or are holding the jump button, then you know what's supposed to happen? I'll give you a couple of minutes to think that through. You get your votes in. What's supposed to happen in a video game when you've touched a solid object, when you're on something and you press the jump button? Do 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 do. Seems all right on both, Sister Mason. Okay, it really should. You know, it should just be a steady 6 megabits per second coming out. And yeah, it should just be steady 6 megabits coming out. And I don't know, like, I think the way that things work these days, in terms of like encoding via OBS and live streaming and stuff like that, is that if it can, the system will just increase the quality, so you do maintain a steady 6 megabits per second coming out instead of like having a variable bit rate, but it automatically like rakes up the quality if there's less bandwidth consumption. And then when there's more bandwidth consumption, it just, you know, eases it down. I think that's how it works. The weird thing is that I feel like we've had some really high motion, really like good looking games that I've played on the streams, like that RoboCop and stuff like that. And I felt like something has happened in the realm of encoding, where it's crushing it now to where like at 6 megs per second, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. You can't tell that it's not just being played on your own, you know, 1080p screen. And that didn't used to be the case. You know, you get high motion, you get certain kind of scenes with, and there would be a lot of artifacting, but I feel like they've managed to do something to like squeeze more bits out of the rate, kind of a deal. Oops. Had a little bit of buffering on my end to start, but it seems smooth now using auto resolution. Have you never seen a cat try to jump off a newspaper that is hanging over the edge of a table? No. That's... What are you doing to you? You shouldn't be... Do I need to call PETA or the ASPCA or something? What's going on at your house, Kenneth? And we got like 10 cats in this house too, so if it was gonna happen, I would have seen it. We've got a blind cat. We have a completely 100% no-sight cat. Rando. And we call her Randy now, for some reason. Just started out with a silly name, and then when you start out with like a silly name and then you start giving, it's weird how that works. When you give something that has a silly name, a nickname, it actually becomes more respectable. We went from Rando to Randy. and she's a girl, by the way. And she had some sight when she was born too. Like when we first got her, she could definitely tell when you were standing over her and, you know, the lights. She could perceive changes of light and stuff like that. At this point, she's blind. She is fully, completely, 100% just blind. And it's fine. Like, she's 1,000% comfortable, and we know how to play with her, keep her engaged, and, you know, she can track things with her ears so well that it's you know, you roll a ball or a piece of paper. We ball up pieces of paper because they, you know, crumple well and make a lot of noise as they roll. And so you roll up a piece of paper and you throw it in her direction, and she'll swat it out of the, you know, out of the middle of the air sometimes. Like, she knows how to follow it and say, oh, well, it bounced there and it was moving at about that speed, so it's got to be here. And she'll She'll impress the hell out of you with her ability to catch something even though she can't see it. That question was regarding Cluster Truck eating your jump. Yeah, I know. I did. I made that connection. I just decided to take it to Catsville. Paws is still our big boy. The you know, he's husky. You know what? He's husky. He's not a fat cat. He's got like his fur makes him look fat. Because of the way that his fur stands up and stuff like that. But he's not fat. He's not a fat cat. He is husky. He's a husky cat. And that comes down to his biology, which is actually my fault. And you're gonna say, what do you mean? How are you, a human being, responsible for the biology of a cat? What did you... I'm pretty sure we can't talk about this topic on Twitch. YouTube would be fine. It's my fault because the reason why Paw's biology is messed up is because I didn't neuter him at the correct time. I was of the mindset that, like, I didn't want to be cutting things off of my animal if the only reason that I'm doing it is for my own, like, convenience and benefit, and it's just, it's easier to live with him or something like that. And everyone who I wasn't just, like, going off of my own shit. I was asking and looking for, like, what are the ups and the downsides? Like, what's the... Tell me about this. I wanted to know. I wasn't just taking it for granted that you should spay and neuter your animals. I wanted a reason. And I went looking. And I was genuinely asking, and again, you fucking monkeys couldn't really get a straight answer from you fucking monkeys. You all had an agenda, and those of you who were, like, dedicated to the cause of spaying and neutering were just, like, laying guilt trip bullshit down that had nothing to do with anything, and not actually just answering the questions that I was looking for, like, giving me the reasons, like, why is it good for the cat, is it better, well, and it was all about, like, well, they'll be more friendly, and I'm like, I'm removing gland producing, like, this is gonna fuck with his, his hormones and all this kind of shit, and you're gonna talk to me about what? Like, he'll be more, affectionate toward me? Like, get your fucking priorities straight. So I went looking for the answers of, like, why I should give me a good reason that isn't just selfish, that isn't just, I don't want him pissing in my shoes or whatever, being in heat and whatnot. And nobody had a good answer. And so, at the end of the day, I said, none of you can give me a good fucking answer. I'm gonna leave the animal whole. That's, the idea is, you're doing something where you could just do nothing. You could just let Mother Nature be Mother Nature, as opposed to cutting things off. And in fact, where I couldn't find people making, like, good, solid, like, unselfish arguments for why you should spay and neuter your pets, what I did find was the volumes of data that says that when you do spay and neuter your pets, you increase their rates of certain kinds of cancers because you have disturbed their natural biology. And so, the hormonal shifts and stuff like that have influences on them, on their, lifespan and on the diseases that they're going to suffer throughout their lives. So I didn't get Paws, clipped when I should have. And then, he got older and started to, got into his puberty cycle, and I knew it was coming, and, it was part of my consideration. Didn't catch me off guard or anything like that. But, like, what I didn't realize was just how much pain and discomfort he was gonna be in. And that's what nobody, talked about, was the animal being in such, like, misery and discomfort, not being able to get out there and get their rocks off at the time where, millions, billions of years of evolution has told them, now's the time, get out there and make you some cat babies. And so it was, the intense amount of pain that he was in that it ultimately made me go, okay, I gotta get him spayed. And then because I did that, he went from being this skinny little cat to being this chonky boy that he is. And he eats the same food as here, and his brother is this slender little, like, if anything, emaciated. If you shaved him, he would look like, he would look horrific. If you shaved the fur off of Bags, he would look like a monster because he's so skinny. You put your hands around him and there's almost nothing there. They both get the same food. They both get the same amount of food. There are, there are 4 other cats on this level that he's living with. Paws. And, in fact, 5. Because, yeah, Rando. None of them have weight issues, only him. So it is a glandular problem that I blame myself for not getting him, neutered at the right time. And then I blame all of you, monkeys, because I tried to get the information and all one of you would have had to say was that the animal will be in a lot of pain and discomfort and throughout their puberty cycle, throughout their, like, mating cycle. They're going to be it's going to be awful for them if they can't get out. That's all that somebody had to say. But you're also fucking trying to sell the idea of, it's going to be so much, they're not going to, here are the things that they're going to do to your, they'll be more aggressive and blah, 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 me. Looking for one fucking good reason that isn't about me and my preferences before I go, chopping shit off of, off of a whole animal. Correcting God. Shouldn't have left these here. Didn't you realize we were going to turn them into house pets? Yeah, so that's why Paws is a chonky boy. But, like I say, he's husky. He's not fat. I've seen fat cats, and they're fat. But if you were to shave Paws, you would be able to see that he's just husky. He's just thick-boned, so to speak. Ooh, that was cool. Let's see. What's being tested, says Noura. Hey, Noura! Yeah, we're live on both YouTube and Twitch right now. This is going out to Pawn Live, so youtube.com/@PawnLive. And then tomorrow, if I do tomorrow's live stream, it will be, if I do the right live, if I do it the way that I'm intending, it depends. Like, this is, I don't do extra live streams. I got a condition here. Why do I have an image in my head of you shaving the two of them to compare? I have not shaved them. Generally, you want to wait until the animal has attained sexual maturity. Whenever it was that you were supposed to do it, he was too far gone. By the time, he had been suffering for a while, and to the point where I got uncomfortable with it. Can help reduce aggression and some nuisance behavior, but it doesn't really do anything to improve their life, says Kenneth One. Yeah. Except for, this is the big thing, is that they are miserable. A male cat, and I'm sure the same is true for a female cat, but I don't, women don't even necessarily believe. I've heard women talk, and a lot of them are like, are blue balls really a thing? Uh-huh. Yes, they are. They don't turn blue or nothing, but they hurt like a son of a bitch. And they, yeah, the pain that he was in from just not being able to do what Mother Nature was driving him to do was palpable. And I had him and his brother, who was a year older, right next to each other. And one of them was in this horrific, and the other one was like, I got neutered at the correct time. What's up? What are we doing? How's life? Yeah. And this other one's like, ow, yeah. Sexual frustration sucks regardless of species. Might want to add a chat overlay so that Twitch and YouTube viewers can see the other chat. Number one, it's not convenient to do. I was trying to set it up last night, and I got to a certain point, and I'm like, I think the universe is just reminding me that I have already decided that this is not, that it's too dangerous to let people have, just put whatever they want on screen on my recordings. But yeah, it was too inconvenient, and then, I would have pushed through, but it just reminded me that I've had problems before. I don't need to risk. I have two platforms that both need to be moderated and kept on, that kind So yeah, in fact, that's sort of what this space was. If this space here, I was thinking maybe chat could go in there. The other thing that I would put in there is, who was the last subscriber, or the last cheerer, or the top subscriber, or top cheerer. Also, shockingly inconvenient to get that information in a way that's stable and maintainable. Stream elements, I've already got, you've seen the thing, which is, for both, wait, for both platforms at once. I think I fired off many, many of those. But so, yeah, you've seen that, but then there would have to be a separate overlay for tracking the things, and and it would be, they want it to be a 1080p thing. I don't want a full HTML page laying over top of the thing if I don't need it. I've already got others. I've got one that's already doing that. So it's I know how much extra burden that can put on your rendering and stuff like that. So I'm trying to avoid it. But yeah, so there would eventually, things will go here is what I'm saying. This space, this empty space to the right there, I think we can poke some things in there. I might get stream labels downloaded again. Try and make that work. I wouldn't draw many ASCII peni, ASCII peni, or ASCII, depending on how you say it. So there were two things that I was going to do for tomorrow on the stream here. One was create a fake editable mission that we can fill in during the stream as we pick our missions in KSP. Because this will be that's what's coming up next, is Kerbal Space Program. Live on the Ronin Pawn channel. But we're going to be making our own missions. We're not going to be at the mercy and the whim of Gene Kerman in Kerbal Space Program's Mission Control, because Gene is just, he doesn't know when to say no. They call him up. They call him up and they say, I got a contract for you, and it's the stupidest contract anyone has ever heard. And he's just like, maybe I'll run it past the big man upstairs. No, Gene, filter some of them out. Not all of these are good contracts. So, a fake editable mission dialogue. The other was to create a YouTube thumbnail for tomorrow. And the last one was to make a mission log spreadsheet with a built-in rewards calculator. We talked about that, and I was saying, I don't want to build a friggin' calculator. It's not that hard. to do, and we've come up with some pretty simple rules. Maybe we could do it. I'm not going to do any of that. We have succeeded on testing this live stream, and I should save every ounce of breath and energy that I have for the possibility of actually doing the live stream tomorrow. I have to look at the audio delays from this live stream, so I think it's best if I shut this one down and do whatever else that I want to do, because I've been getting up really late, so I'll be up until 4 or 6 a.m. kind of thing. I think I should do all that stuff on my own. It will save me breath, it will save me energy for tomorrow, and I would say at this point it's already like kind of coin flippy 50-50 as to whether we do it tomorrow, because I want to come to it with my full energy. And, you know, if I'm broadcasting live on YouTube on the main channel for the first time in a while, I don't want to be here and like, hey, how's it going? I'm the Ronin Pawn. Welcome to... I don't want to be that guy, you know. I also don't want to be grumpy, which is that's a fighting a losing battle there. But so, yeah. I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys for helping me out. Thank you, Mason, for all of the money that you threw at my face. Thank you, Fortnite Man, for the unexpected subscription. Gord Knight Pawn, rest well. That's what I'm going to try and do. So yeah, I will see you at the next live stream. Let's do an outro roll. I am the Ronin Pawn. Things will go better tomorrow. The neck swinging thing. So yeah, look for me tomorrow, probably like 5 p.m. U.S. Eastern time, maybe even later, maybe 6. It's gonna be a late night. I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna ease into my day, I'm gonna make sure that I'm ready to go if we're gonna go. And you know, if I just don't feel up to it, then I'll probably still do some kind of little stream, but we just won't start Kerbal Space Program on a downer note, you know. So, look for me tomorrow at 6 p.m. anyway. Not 10 p.m. No. 6 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, or thereabouts, 5 to 6. I'll see you then. Pawn out.